It never freaking ends, man. This Super Sega saga continues. The most powerful SPGA. It was FPGA, but now it changed to Sega Programmable Gate Array. Gatorade, Gate Array, not developed by Sega, but they're still using the Sega name, which was one of the biggest issues, right? Because supposedly Sega wasn't too happy with them. But then all of a sudden, it was a Christmas miracle. I have to pull up my notes because this was ridiculous. We have some news with these guys. They sent out an email a little earlier today, and it just had me scratching my head. These guys are knuckleheads. Alejandro, this guy, man, they took a bunch of people's money. Then they were saying, like, hey, just file chargebacks, which made no freaking sense. But remember, they'd responded to Sega, supposedly. They responded saying, hey, we're not infringing on anything. And then later on, I think it was in December, the website Time Extension, which I never seen this reported anywhere. I never got this email. I never seen it on Super Sega's website or the Super SPGA website. I hadn't seen it reported anywhere else, but there was supposedly this email that they sent where they were claiming that Super Sega was claiming that Sega actually apologized to them. It was all just a big mistake. Sorry, guys. They said in the email, Sega had told Alejandro and his team that we're sorry that we interfered with your gaming console project without providing any evidence of your wrongdoing whatsoever, and that they approve of their project and appreciate their contributions to the gaming world. And they told them to report their employees for unlawful attacks on what they were doing. This email was from Sega Europe, so who knows? I mean, we didn't actually see the email. We saw, copy and pasted form of this email. But now these guys are at it again. It seemed like this whole project just disappeared. And you guys, people were warned from the get-go. Don't give these fools any money, right? This project just seemed fishy with all the weird videos and whatnot. But now, with this new email, it seems like there's a whole new project that's coming out. A cheaper Super Sega with open source FPGA code and ARM. That's what the, subject line says anyway. But, yeah. So this is what we got. This was sent a few hours ago. So they have a cheaper super console home device with Mr. FPGA, similar price chip and ARM may come. Team is in dealing with popular mass producers. The company behind Super Sega, which was unsuccessful, obviously, released by a formally request from Sega. This is all like I didn't English translate this. A lot of times they send this stuff in Spanish, but they sent this in English. So, not their first language, I would imagine. So I'm doing my best reading this here. They say there was 300 units which were destroyed. I don't think they produced any. They had like a couple of prototypes that looked like there was no way they had 300 units that were destroyed. They're full of crap. So 300 units destroyed and refunded, except about 10 units. They have 10 units floating around. Now they're making the following announcement. Through a partnership venture to be decided among a few known Asian companies. They were Asian. The Super SPGA team is negotiating mass production of a cheaper non-100% FPGA device. Non-100%, this sounds like Polymega, the Polyschmegma all over again. With the same idea and components of the original concept, but without an expensive AMD UltraScale Plus chipset. Target price would be around 200, 250 euros. I'm imagining. Alejandro's dealing to use, this gets stupider and stupider, all right? Especially the end of this email. We'll watch the video that he attached. I don't even understand what the point of it is, but okay. Alejandro's dealing to use a similar chipset found on Mr. FPGA, combined with the power of Linux. Just go to the freaking Retro Remake Taki's thing and buy the damn Mr. Pi or his super console, the little PlayStation looking thing that I'm looking for. That thing's not even $200. It's like $170. That thing's going to be sweet. And it plays discs for the PS1. So I don't know about this thing, but it seems like it's going to be way overpriced compared to what Taki's doing over there at Retro Remake, but okay. And it's okay. The power on Linux done by ARM Core to be able to run some games by emulation and by native cores made by the Super Sega team, existing ones or by third parties. So they're existing ones so are they saying ones that already exist out there or ones that they've already supposedly made? I don't understand. But they show something that they've been communicating with, sending samples with the slot cards, reaching an agreement, just about making this new setup. Chipset might be the same or similar used in Mr. FPGA, getting this thing going. They just share a few little emails, right? So if the intended release is to be open source, so coders, third parties may be able to reprogram existing cores to the new Super Sega cheaper console. Mr. already exists, Mr. Pi. I don't even care about Mr. with the DE10 Nano. It's about Mr. Pi, the cheaper option. Instead of spending $500-$600 on a Mr. FPGA setup, spend $180-$200 on a Mr. Pi setup. It's the same damn thing. But especially if more people are coming out with these clone versions of the DE10 Nano, these Mr. FPGA setups like the Mr. Pi, like hell yeah, dude. It already exists. Open source. Other people can develop for. This seems like it's going that same route, but it's going to be way more expensive, and it's coming from somebody who people don't trust. So the Super Sega Mini, according to Martin, some prototype units will be released worldwide between 10 and 20 for popular YouTubers. Won't go to me, that's for sure. Can testify in their hands this new release. And then after initial reviews, launch via Kickstarter on a 1,111 unit basis batch limited edition with a maximum of 3,333 or 3.333 units, I don't know, to be ever released. Whatever. So Martin has the number 3 being one of his favorites. Not only 3 represents Barcelona, prefix 3 after the Nationals 9s, but in honor of the gold phone number. Okay, whatever, dude. This sounds like some autistic, like craziness going on here. What is all this? Somebody wants Spanish numeral gold. Interest company must pay 333,000 for it and contact him via WhatsApp at what? What is this? That number were used by Alejandro to assist the people who are not able to recover the 330. Yeah, all the money, the early version never released. If you're still one of those people who paid the €375 plus shipping for an early version, still did not receive your money, contact Alejandro via above Spanish gold number through WhatsApp and post your comment here in this media with some verification to prove who you are and say with your name and one surname. So what? Like, yeah, you didn't refund everybody's money. Bitch, dude. So this email is like all over the place. And then another email, dear Alejandro, we're very interested in your proposal. Okay. Who is all this? See, it just gets crazier and crazier. Who's this guy? Super Sega Mini. Will you back through Kickstarter? A video soon will be released. So this is just the same thing. Now the question from the Super Sega team is, provided more than 10 or 20 units reviewed by YouTubers, will you back through Kickstarter? So I guess this is the question to you. If they provide these units to popular YouTubers, will you back through Kickstarter this new Super Sega Mini with some emulation done for consoles like Dreamcast, but open source with a cheaper ARM FPGA? Yeah, because they weren't going to FPGA that fucking Dreamcast. They were full of shit to begin with. Open source with a cheaper ARM FPGA chipset with cartridge slot readers, optical unit, and similar chassis, provided a target price around €200-250. So you'll be able to run your own games or copies of the FPGA course or emulation, whatever they be released over in time. They're asking you, would you do this if they sent these to YouTubers to review? I mean, no. I don't care who they sent them to. Like, I wouldn't back this, man. Not with their like so far what they've been doing. And then they had this weird ass video. Video soon will be released Super Sega YouTube channel explaining this new accessible project. But until then, we left you with I'm assuming parody from Don Alejandro versus Donald Trump. Watch before YouTube may drop this video. I don't even understand this video. I watched it earlier. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about here. Okay, what is this guy talking about?
Carlos. Yeah. You know who owns the Parody pistol? Yeah. I know. He's a good guy. He has a pizza. Yeah. You know how much money does Carlos have? He had signed a contract with Williams, yeah? Yeah, he has a contract with Williams, probably worth under the 6 billions under the hood. Yep, Carlos signed is worth about 60 billions of the US dollars, Ricardo. But Don Alejandro, if you're talking about how much do I worth? Don Alejandro, may I ask you privately how much does you worth? Yes.
The loss.
You know who owns the New York Times? Is that Carlos Slim?
He has a piece of it.
Yeah, he is the wealthiest man in the world.
And he's a good guy. I know him.
You know Carlos
Yeah,
Slim?
good guy.
How much money is that guy worth?
He's got a lot of money. I don't know what it is.
It's got to be like 100
Under
billion.
siege, yes, 60 billion or something.
Oh my God.
Under siege, but that's okay.
And what is it? It's none of my business. But what are you worth? A guy like you.
They say I'm only worth $9 billion.
$9 billion?
Yeah.
Only worth $9
So I don't feel so good when you mention Carlos Slim.
Yeah.
See, so what the frick exactly? What the fuck is this? Like, was this guy trying to sell this Lamborghini or whatever the hell it was he had? Was it a Lamborghini? I don't even freaking remember, dude. Like, all I know is he couldn't drive it. He didn't know how to back it in and park it. What is this video? Is this a promotional video to sell you the mini Super Sega? I don't even understand what the hell the point of this was. What the hell is this guy doing? Like, you see this crap that this guy is posting. Does this like make you excited to want to buy anything from him?
Who is it? Who?
Look at this guy. He thinks he's a comedian or so. I don't know what the hell, dude. Like, what is all this? Alejandro told you how to get the money, but you accused him of being a scammer and fraud. That's why he didn't continue with your conversations. You must file a police report against Super Sega website for having purchased a product and not receiving it. With that report, you go to law, whatever, and they will return your money. Alejandro is with you personally on WhatsApp. What the hell is that? Shameless, dude. Shameless. So it's like you accused him of being a scammer and fraud. So he chose not to continue the conversation and refund the money. So now they're telling him, well, in order to get your money back, you need to file a police report. Shameless. Shameless. Like, don't give these people any of your money. I don't know what to say. I mean, do with your money what you will. I don't really give a crap, but I'm not going to give them any of my money. But there you go. There's the update. Super Sega. Super Sega. Bye.